kind of a model of the brain, and I'm going to tell you about the parts of it. This is your spinal cord. It carries messages to and from your arms, legs, and the trunk of your body. This is your brain stem, which is in charge of keeping automatic systems of your body working, so you don't have to think about breathing or your heart beating or anything like that. It just does that for you. This is your parietal lobe. It contains the primary sensory cortex, which controls sensation, which means touch and pressure. And behind the primary sensory cortex is a large association area that's in charge of controlling the fine sensation, which is judgment of texture, weight, size, and shape. This is your cerebellum, which coordinates movements of the muscles like walking or swinging of arms. This means that the movement is smooth and controlled so you don't fall over when you turn around. This is your temporal lobe. There are two of them, one on each side of your brain at about the level of your ears. These lobes allow a person to tell one smell from another smell and one smell from another. So like if you're baking a cake, you can smell that smell. And then if you are smelling a flower after you smell that cake, you can tell those two from another. These lobes are in charge of like sorting information like that I'm telling people tonight and that you always learn. And then it's also responsible for short-term memory. And this is your frontal lobe, which is the part of each hemisphere of the brain located behind the forehead that serves to regulate and mediate other intellectual functions. The frontal lobes have intricate connections to some other areas of the brain. In the frontal lobes, we meld emotions, error detection, sense of self, and more to create a social brain. This is your occipital lobe, which is the region in the back of the brain that processes visual information. Not only is that lobe mainly responsible for visual reception, it also contains some association that helps in the visual recognitions of shapes and colors. Damage to the lobes can cause visual defects, which means that like if you're colorblind, it probably means that you damage that lobe somehow, so you can't see colors as well or shapes. And so if you look at this graph over here, you can see about the number of brain cells that you have from an infant to 20 years old. And right here as an infant, you have about 100,000 brain cells. And as at 18 years old, which is about right here, your brain stops growing, but you still get more information that gets sorted out, and you still get more brain cells. And if you do drugs or drink alcohol or something like that, then your brain cells will die, but there'll still be more growing all the time. Which brings me down to fun facts, which is that every time you sneeze, some of your brain cells die, and that sunlight makes you sneeze, and yawning wakes up the brain.